What's up, guys? Welcome. We're at Alibis Cafe. Bubba Sparxxx.
Hey.
We're lucky enough to have him on hand with us. DJ Romeo, performing live with him tonight. And before we get into the show, we're just going to do a quick interview. So
Yes,
enjoy. Bubba, thanks for sitting down with us, man.
Not a problem.
Really
Thanks
appreciate
for having
it.
me.
You ever been out this way before?
Never been to Westchester. Been to all parts of Philly several times, but first time in Westchester. So
And this is part of a huge tour you're doing, right?
I've really been touring with a live band, but I still do DJ sets, here and there. And tonight, just rocking with my man Romeo over here. So didn't bring the band along, but
Tell me about the tour that you're doing with the band.
we just been going all over the country. We're actually getting ready to go out west late June, early July. I hadn't been out there with the band yet. For 10 years I toured just always with a DJ. In the last year I made the decision to put a band together and really try to breathe some new life into my touring, and it just changes everything, like in a negative way it changes because it becomes a headache to deal with 6 different egos, but it makes it takes the live show to a whole nother level, and I've really been enjoying it. So we've been doing mostly weekends, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, some Sundays, some Wednesdays, but it's been a good time for sure.
And obviously you're touring in preparation for your new album.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
called Pain Management. Be in stores late June. Really excited about that. It's my first album that I've put out in about 6.5, 7 years. So I'm really excited about it. There was a lot of topics that I needed to address, a lot of things that I went through, what my life's been like for the last 7 years, why I didn't put out music for 7 years, and it's all included in there. It's very, very personal. Like always, the best music that I've ever done has been personal music, and it's when I had things on my heart that I wanted to discuss, and that's what the case is here, and the outcome is pretty good.
What can we expect in terms of the sound from the new album?
It's a lot more live.
I was gonna say
Live
have
music.
live music.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'd say my album Deliverance. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm familiar with that album.
It was my second album, and if I had to compare Pain Management to something, it would be that. Even though I'd say it's a little edgier, a little more rock. I'd say like whereas Deliverance was country, this is like southern rock influenced hip hop.
We were talking about this before meeting with you, and Gabe and I, one of our favorite movies of all time is Where Brother Art Thou.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that movie, or is
Yeah,
that
I
someone
love it.
else? Did you come up with the idea for the Deliverance video?
Well, actually, that's something we've been talking. Timberland and I have been talking about doing that for ever since we first met each other, because there was a song on my first album called Bubba Talk, and originally we had the I am a man of constant sorrow. We had that leading into the song. We couldn't get it cleared, so we ended up having to take it off. But we always just were. But Timberland more so than me, because it was just kind of hokey to me. But he just thought it was the most amazing thing. He loved it. He really did. So
What's it like working with Timberland in the studio?
he's the best producer of not just hip hop, not just R&B, not just pop, not just urban music, just of music. Period. He's the best.
Are you still working with him today?
Yeah, we just actually did some stuff about a month ago.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
And I was gonna ask you, who's someone that you worked with that was something that will always stick with you?
I guess I'd probably have to say, because I grew up idolizing Outkast. Those were probably the guys that really made me believe I could do hip hop music and do this for a living, and to actually reach a point where I was signed with Big Boy, that was a huge honor. So that kind of sticks with you.
When you decided, I guess, talking about how you realized you could do this, how did you even get introduced to rap music growing up in rural Georgia?
Yeah, because now kids got the internet and everything's so accessible, but back then it really was tougher, because I don't even think, when I was real young, we didn't even have cable TV, so I couldn't even see MTV or anything like that, or early in my life. But this kid was actually my closest neighbor. He lived about a half a mile away, and he had cousins from somewhere on the East Coast, Philly, Baltimore, New York, somewhere. I don't know where it was. Might as well have been Egypt, so far away at that time. But he would send us these tapes, that he would record off the radio, whatever the radio station was there. And we were just listening to those tapes like the gospel. I remember there being LL Cool J on there, EPMD, Eric B. and Rakim, just a lot of really, really classic late '80s,
Mhm.
you know, East Coast hip hop, and we loved it.
So you grew up kind of secluded in the countryside.
No
You say,
doubt.
you know, the East Coast was like Egypt, but
Mhm.
now you're touring the world. You have a big fan base overseas
Yeah,
too,
for sure.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where are some of your big stops along the way overseas?
I've pretty much been everywhere in Europe, you know, but Germany, you know, the Netherlands, Italy, like heavily in those parts. Austria, Belgium, you know.
That's
I
awesome.
really focus on that area. Seem to do better there in those areas.
And now you're in Westchester.
Yeah, no place. I keep hearing about Westchester. I keep hearing about how turned up, you know, Westchester is. So I'm anxious to see for myself.
Cool, cool. And just one more time for everybody, when does your new album drop?
Late June. It's called Pain Management. If you wonder where Bubba Sparxxx has been, if you wonder what's been up with Bubba Sparxxx, go pick up the album when it comes out. Answers are contained here within.
Great. Well, thank you very much for
Thanks,
sitting down
Dan.
with us.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna rock tonight, right?
Yeah, tonight's gonna be fun.
It's going to be a good night. Guys, thanks for tuning in.